Zinari Bujeni Yesu, mi Yesu, Zinari Dasazwe, Zinari Buje, Yesu niwe Zinari Buje, Bitanga amahoro n'umunezero. No mu mwijima wo muri isi ritumurikira
effectiveness. So when I was suggested this topic, that I was wondering if I have to take this topic or not. But because to measure the practical ways to measure our effectiveness is not something like the tangible issues. So for example, do you know your weight? Your weight. I don't know if it is a bad manner to ask your weight. You know your weight. You know your height? How tall are you? Maybe 170 something or 80 something. You know your height and you know your weight. In Korea it's the manner is to ask the sisters the weight. I don't know in Rwanda if it's so say. No, not that. Somehow manner is. How heavy are you? But anyways, in order to know the weight or our eyesight or the height, we have something to measure. Even in the school, once you go to the school, by something called exam or the test, you'll be able to measure the level. But what about our effectiveness? How can we measure our effectiveness? Because sometimes some people may say that, oh, you are very much influencing. You influence so many people in a good way. But why the others may say that no, you did not influence anything. And sometimes such outcome or such the data may give us, like sometimes it may be condemnation or even self-condemnation, or sometimes we may be like the boast of ourselves. Some people, by achieving the primary achievement, they would be just satisfied and they would be pointless. So this today, in this beautiful evening, together with the members of SEM, I would like to share with you the short story and the short presentation, how to measure the effectiveness. So iLab is the NGO, and we have been working in Rwanda since 2006. And currently, we are working with the Ministry of Youth as a line ministry, as well as the different the universities and also the secondary schools, also the different government institutes such as the NRS. NRS is the National Rehabilitation Service. So one of our program is called the Mind Education. So because without the change of mindset, it is impossible to get the true change. So my name is Benjamin Ko. I'm a specialist in mind education. I'm working as a country director of International Youth Fellowship. Also, I lectured at the different ministries as well as the different universities. We have the MOU with the UTB, we have the MOU with the IPRC, and the different the universities, also we presented this mind education. Also, I lectured in different, the African countries as well as even the continent, the countries. So today, as I began, I want to talk about, first of all, the measurement that we have, especially toward our effectiveness. It's not something that that we have like the ruler or like the weight. It's scale. This is different. So effectiveness, we can only measure, in our heart, and how you influence others. It will also it will be also defined by the others. Others. We can easily think. For example, as I gave you some examples at the school, in the school, by the test, by the result of exam, you may say that this may be ranking number 1 or 2, 3, 4, but it does not mean that one who studies well definitely will succeed. Is that true? No? Is that true? Someone, maybe one student who always rank 1, the top in the class, does it mean that he is like guaranteed to be successful than others? No, it's not always true. Sometimes, even though some students, they are not good at studying, but their ideas are creative and they have the different, the talents, and even they can make much more success than the others. That's why when we think about the effectiveness, we should not just focus on the one side, like a certain visible part, because as also you are Christians, in the Bible we see that there are 2 words. One is the visible world, and the other one is the invisible world. So visible world, actually we are very much familiar with the visible world, and we tend to judge the people according to their performance, according to this revealed performance, and saying that this one is good. Now you see the effectiveness. I have achieved something great. You may say like that. But sometimes, even though you may not have the certain tangible effectiveness for now, but it will be the great, or it will be the great time for you to learn, like for example, like the perseverance or the patience, which can even bring forth the bigger and greater fruit in the future. Are we together? That's why the most important thing is you, first of all, as you treat yourself, never ever get discouraged and never give up. The Bible says, knock, and it will be opened. But sometimes, we meet a situation that we knock, but it's not opened. And then, how do we conclude? We quit, saying that, you see that I have been knocking, but it's not opened. It's not opened. I have been knocking for maybe like 6 months. I have been knocking for 1 year, but it's not open. So maybe my effectiveness is 0. I have been failed. And then people just give. But if you read the Bible clearly, and if you think deeply about that verse, open, knock, that until when? Until it's open. If you knock until it is open, what does that mean? You will never fail. You will never fail. But it's not that anyone can knock continually. Why? Because we are humans. We humans, we can be easily discouraged by the visible issues. Certain, the tangible, the result, it discouraged us. But at that time, what we need is the new mind. The mindset beyond the human understanding. If you get the mindset beyond the understanding of a human being, you will be able to keep the knocking until it gets open. So this is the secret. This is the secret. So there is, the bamboo tree? Do you know the bamboo tree? Yeah. There is the one kind of the bamboo tree. For 5 years, it does not sprout up. For 5 years. You sow the seed, and you wait for 5 years. People say that, hey, I sowed the seed, and I have been waiting for 5 years. And when 1 year, 2 years and 3 years, do you know what people say? Hey, maybe this one is dead. This one is dead. Why? Because they don't see the sprout. They don't see any change with their eyes. But do you know what has been happening for 5 years? This bamboo tree, this bamboo tree, spread the root for 5 years. For 5 years, until it reaches 4 kilometers. No? The length of the root is 4 kilometers. Do you think this bamboo failed? But when we see this, the ground, when we see the ground with our eyes, it seems that this bamboo tree completely failed. Why? Because it does not show any change. Sometimes, as you treat yourself, let me not talk about the treating others. When you treat yourself, because if you treat yourself with this new idea and new perspective, even automatically you will treat others with the new idea and new perspective. Are we together? The most people, when they see the quick or tangible issues, if they don't see such the tangible, the fruit, and quick the fruit, they will just give up. Saying that, I don't see any change. I don't see any change. How can I work on it? How can I keep working? Because I don't see any change. But for example, this bamboo tree, for 5 years, outwardly, it does not show any change, but inwardly, it grows the root almost 4 kilometers. And when it reaches 5 years, you know what happens? Every day, daily, it grows 80 centimeters. Every day, until it reaches 30 meters. Which means, for 5 years, this bamboo tree spend its time or invest all the energies and nutrition to grow the root. And then, when it reached the point, now the tree grows very quickly, 80 centimeters per day, and it reached almost 30 meters. And this is the best of best quality of the bamboo tree. So, I believe that you know the story of these 2 houses in the book of Matthew chapter 7. Most people, they focus on how to build that wonderful and nice house. They want to build a good house and wonderful house. Yet, the Bible emphasizes what kind of foundation this house is built on. Even if you build a beautiful house, skyscraper, let's say that 20-story apartment, and people would see that comes and hit the building, and if the foundation is not stable and strong enough, what would happen? Do you think this building that can resist the storm? No. There's a storm will crumble down this building, and everything will be demolished. Many people, they try to pile up their careers, their ability, but if they do not have the strong foundation, by one incident, everything that they piled up could be demolished. That's why what is really important is to know what is happening in your heart. Okay? I want to start the levels of the heart, because you need to know the different levels of the heart so that you can know where you have to go to. If you do not know where you are exactly, even you can never know where you will be or where you will want to be. Is that so? So there are different levels of water. The fifth level is seriously polluted water. No fish can live. Even this kind of water, we have to invest a lot of money to purify the water. Why? Because it's very dirty. We cannot, the fourth level, such things the such the things, the microorganisms and the dirty, the virus and germs, they live. And there are different the levels of water. And very funny thing is, you see, in order to drink the pure water, we spend the money. Is that so?
Yes.
Is that so? For example, why do people buy the water, drinking water? They don't just drink the water from maybe like the rainwater or the water from the underground water. And people use a lot of money to buy this pure water. Sometimes they buy the expensive the water purifier. The reason why they invest their money for the purified water, the clean water, it is because it is related to our health, our body health. So in the same way, there are different levels of mindset. According to what kind of levels of mindset you have, even if you may not achieve something tangible for now, but according to what kind of mindset you have, you will keep influencing a lot of people in a positive way, in a good way. But in order for you to judge the people or define the people according to their mindset, it will be very easy for you to take them the level up, from the 5th level to the 4th level. If you meet a person who is on the 4th level, you can explain to them and you can take them to the 3rd level. If you meet the person on the 3rd level, you can explain to them so that you can take them to the 2nd level. Are we together? But if you do not know the word of the heart, you may just use the same mechanism to the people. But problem is that you don't know where they are exactly. If you do not know where they are exactly, it is impossible for you to take them to where they are supposed to be. For example, I have come here from Kimirongo. From Kimirongo to town. So I can take these ways. Like, what is that? The Gishushu? No. The Gishushu, and it's the convention center, and then the Kimihurura, and then I took this way, and I have arrived here in this place from Kimirongo. For example, like I got a call. I made a phone call to him and saying that, excuse me, so I want to come there. Can you please direct me? And what would he ask me? Where are you? Where are you? I don't know. I don't know where I am. Do you think he can direct me? He cannot direct me. Where? You tell me where. You tell me please where you are, and I will direct you. Even if you know where you are exactly, but if you do not know where that person is exactly, it is impossible to direct. Even you yourself, even your heart, like a 5th level, the abnormal mindset, 4th level mindset to follow fleshly desire. So I will explain to you one by one in detail. What is the level of your mindset? So I want you to first of all focus on yourself. And then when it is clear in your heart, also you can apply this for others. Before I go, I want to just tell you the one story. As I told you that we IYF, we are in partnership with the NRS. NRS is the National Rehabilitation Service. They are dealing with the street boys and the drug addict. And at Kitagata Center, I don't know if you are aware of the Kitagata Center. Yes. At Kitagata Center now there are some 100 street boys, also some ladies. So most of the ladies, they are kept there due to because they the Holocaust. They sold their body. They were arrested and they were sent to their centers. There are psychologists. They're working there. Now I have been training them. You see that they are psychologists. and they deal with these ladies every day. But when I met them, I could clearly see that they were in despair. Why? Do you know why? Why they were in despair? It's because they have been treating these ladies for many times. The problem is they don't see any change. They don't see any change. Many ladies, they got this heart, this idea that once I am released, I will go back to my former life. Therefore, what they just do is just keep them in that center for a certain period. The problem is they lose the hope that these ladies would change. So when I came there, the first thing I did is to change the mindset of the psychologist. Yeah. Why? Because they are the people who can influence these ladies. And I just met them and I lectured them, I explained to them about this mindset and about the heart that they are supposed to have. And they began to have a new mind. When they see the ladies, they began to see the hope. Even though sometimes they see that some issues, some problems happened and it may discourage their heart. Yes, it is true that we humans, we are discouraged many times. Are we together? Yes. Huh? Do you have the experience of being discouraged by the different challenges and different problems? Yes, that is humans. Yeah, we are humans. But if we get the new power to stand up again, to lift up again, what is the problem? So, according to the level of your mindset, if you exactly understand that there are also different levels of your mindset, you will be able to know the approach that you are supposed to have to the particular, each and every person in particular. Because the world of the heart, are all different. Even though it looks similar, but people have the different story, people have the different ideas, and people have the different big background. Therefore, if we understand this, if we categorize the mindset of the people in this way and approach the people, so it would be the great help for you to meet the people and approach the people. So first of all, fifth level of mindset. We can say that this is the lowest level. Lowest level. Now you see, now this is a game addiction, computer game addiction. Now do you see this one? Do you know what is this? Espresso. Espresso. This guy is taking the espresso through the injection. And why? In order to keep awake and to do the computer games. Now the fifth level of mindset, those who are addicted to the computer games or the gambling. The gambling. In Rwanda also there are many people who are gambling. Many people are gambling. I want to tell you one story. In Korea, there is one man who are completely addicted to the gambling. He lost everything. He lost everything. Therefore, his wife, even his children, they were very much troubled. Why? Because this man, he sold everything in the house. So one day, he made up his mind that from now on, I will never, ever do gambling again. Do you think he did or not? Do you think he did or not? Yeah, he did it again. He did it again. And even his wife, even his children, they are deeply disappointed. And they said, no, let us divorce, but I cannot leave you anymore. One day, he made a very, very big decision in his heart. I will never do gambling again. The reason why I do the gambling is because I have hands. So you know what he did? he cut off his both hands. Really, he cut off his both hands. And then, when he came back home, being that state, now the wife saw the husband and shocked. What did you do? Don't worry, honey. I will never, ever do gamble again. So in the beginning, wife was somehow shocked. But really, he couldn't gamble again. Why? Because he had no hands. He had no hands. So even though it was really miserable for him to lose, for him to have lost these both hands, but wife at least she got a peace. Why? Because the husband always stays home, takes care of the plays with his children. So she felt the happiness in her life for the first time. One day, because the husband, she tried to make a phone call to some people, but husband was nowhere to be found. So she began to have some worries and some questions in her heart, and nowhere to be found. So final place where she decided to visit was the gambling house. Gambling house. But she was trying to convince her that no, my husband, he will never be here. I'm sure, because he had no hand. How can he play gambling? It's not possible. But when she opened the door of the gambling house, she was shocked and she began fainting. You know why? Because he did gambling with toes. With the toes. Are we together? Now you see, what I want to tell you is, this fifth level of mindset, the gambling, those who are addicted to something, which means that they have fallen into the something. They cannot come out of this, what they have fallen into by themselves. No matter how strong determination they have, they can't. Even as you see the drugs. The fifth level of mindset, abnormal mindset. Similarity of the people who are addicted to gambling, and the drugs are that they have the heart to trust in themselves. This is something that we need to focus. Trust in themselves. Here we can see the similarity. I want to tell you, people who are addicted to the gambling and the drugs, even the games, do you know what they always say? It is my last time. I don't know if you also have your friends who are doing such things. It is my last time. This time I will do it, but I will never do it again. Huh? They think that they can quit at any time when they make up their mind. What is the problem? The problem is that they have the heart to trust in themselves. I can quit at any time. So more scary thing than game and gambling and the drug is the heart of trusting yourself. Even if you know that some people they are not in this much level, but there are many who trust themselves, thinking that I can quit, I can manage this issue, or I can do this issue by myself. And such people, they have a lot of potential to reach like this abnormal mindset, the fifth level of mindset. The fourth level, the mindset to follow fleshly desires. They may not be at the level of being addicted to the drugs or the games or the alcohol, but these people, they just follow the fleshly desires, like eating desire, sexual desire, and sleeping desires. The low level of mindset, only living for the fleshly desire, they live powerless life. Since they just follow their fleshly desires, they have no plan, they have no dream in their life, they have no plan in their life. These people, that they are different from you, because now I see that your passion to learn But one thing that you have to know clearly is that if you just keep living with your current situation, you also have the potential to like low grade to the fourth level. Now the third level, normal mindset. Yeah, of course, most of the people they belong to this. They're on this level, the normal mindset, faithful or loyal to reality. Most of the people live with the normal mindset, just trying to do what they have to do. Which means they are just satisfied with the current situation. And they just try. But here, the secret is, you can just be faithful or loyal to what you are doing, but you cannot be a successful person. You cannot be a successful person. For success, the level of your mind has to move from the third level to the, I'm sorry, maybe this one is a mistake, the second level. From the third level to the second level. How to upgrade your mindset from the third level to the second level? Because the most people, they are just faithful and loyal to the reality. Reality. The second level is mindset to go over the limit and the challenge. The challenge. Successful life. Those who have the second level of the mindset, they do not settle in the level where they are, but live the life of challenging themselves and going over the limit. Going over the limit. So which means when they get the problems, they don't just try to avoid the problems, but instead they go over the problem. They face to the problems and they learn how to handle the problems. But unfortunately, most of the people's heart flows from third to fourth or fifth. So let me explain to you. Now, the third level, it's the normal mindset. I told you that most of the people, maybe the most of the people even you meet in your life, even you yourself, may belong to this third level. But of course, when you are in the busy schedule or the plans, you usually do what you are given. For example, like during the work days, like working hours, you do, right? You do the work and you try your best. But when you get to the spare time, what do you usually do? When you get the free time, when you have the free time, most of the people, today I'm free, today I'm off. What am I going to do? Yes, today I'm going to sleep because for last 5 days I couldn't sleep enough. Is that so? Yeah. Most of the people. You see that today I'm going to eat. I'm not saying that you should not eat. Yes, you need to eat. But most of the people, when they have their free time, instead of using that free time or the spare time for the development of themselves or upgrading themselves, they just follow these fleshly desires, and if it becomes more serious, even they fall into their addictions. You see that Michael Jordan, you know Michael Jordan? Mm-hmm. That ever since I started playing basketball, I missed more than 9,000 shots, lost more than 300 games, missed 26 final shots. That could have led the team to win the game. In my life, I repeated so many mistakes, but that was the reason for my success. The Michael Jordan, he said so. Which means, even though he also experienced a lot of mistakes, a lot of failure, but he did not just remain in disappointment. He did not just remain in despair. Instead, he took that opportunity to booster the heart from the third level to the second level. I want to show you one video. There is one boy named Dustin Carter.
Goal number one to advance to the state tournament, something he could do today.
Now he is the Dustin Carter. Now you see him somehow strange, right? Different from the ordinary person. He doesn't have legs, even his arms. But he's playing against the ordinary, the player. It's not the Paralympic.
And honestly, if I can go back, if somebody asked me, would you take your hands and feet now? I'd say no. I like the way my life ended up being. I love it. I love my life. Every decision I've made, every bad decision I've made, every good decision I've made is everything from a random person not saying a word to me to a random person being nice to me because I'm handicapped. Every little thing that happened in my life is the outcome of what I am now. And I like the outcome. I'm happy.
Now, as you have seen that this man named Dustin Carter, when he was young, he was like an ordinary boy. But one day, his brain was infected, and because of that brain infection, he was about to die. But maybe by the grace of God, he could get a life. As a result, he lost both arms from the elbow, even both legs from the thigh. So it happened when he was just very young, like 7 years, 6, 7 years. And he was really, really disappointed. But the amazing thing is, his father and mother, his dad and mom, the parents, they lived with a very special mindset. And the first day that that this boy came, this boy was released, discharged from the hospital, and they came back home together. And the first thing that he asked is, "Dad, I want to go to the toilet. Please help me." And if you were dad, what would you do? You do help him, right? But the dad, at that time, the answer of the dad, "Hey, Carter, you go to the toilet alone." Alone. And the Carter said, "Dad, I have no legs. I have no arms. How can I do this? How can I go to the toilet by myself? How can I use the forks and the knife and forks by myself?" And the dad said, "Yes, I could help you now. But what would you do if I was not around? Huh? Now I can help you. But what would you do if I was not around?" So they thought of even the time when they are gone. So they trained. I heard that it took like some years for him to go to toilet by himself. Even for him to use the spoon and the fork, it took also some years. But by the help of this challenging spirit, now what I'm trying to tell you is that people living with the challenging spirit, they are different. They are not just satisfied with this, the primary achievement. They always try to find any issue to challenge. Even though he had this the miserable situation that he had no arms, he had no legs, but was playing against the ordinary players, and he could even be the representative of the certain state in the America. Huh? And even he was able to join the university as a president. Huh? Now, the first level, what is the best mindset? Successful and happy life. We have many examples, exemplary people who have like success in their lives. But it does not mean that those who have the success in their lives, they live also the happy life. Success without the happiness is not the true success. Just because you became successful, it does not mean that you have the happy life. There are many stories. Like, for example, you know that Tiger Woods, the golf genius, the first, the golf players. He also they won a lot of the golf competitions, and he became the really top of the top in the field of the golf. But when he reached, what happened to him? Sex scandals, right? And because of that, his reputation was dropped, and he lost many things that he had piled up. Even in Korea, there is a company called Samsung. Samsung company is really the huge company in the world. It's number one in the market of the smartphones. But even the children of the CEO of the Samsung, some of them committed suicide. Why? Famous, the actors and the actresses, sometimes they commit suicide. Sometimes, they fall into the heroines and drugs, and they became like the miserable person, even though they earned a lot of money. Why? When you look at the life of successful people, it seems happy outwardly, but they are living the miserable life in many cases. You know the story of the rich man and the Lazarus, right? In the Bible. Because what is in the Bible is true. This, the rich man, every day he had a feast, a party. But the Lazarus, he had no food at all. But in reality, this rich man, he could not go to heaven. He was in the fire. In the same way, there are many rich people in the world, successful people in the world, whose hearts are not completely soaked in the happiness. Why? Do you know this guy, Macaulay Culkin? This is when he was very young. This movie called Home Alone. It was really, really famous, and he could make a lot of money. But now you see that Macaulay Culkin addicted to heroin, 6 months to live. His life was really miserable. This man named the Pol Pot, he used to be the dictator in Cambodia. One day, he got this idea that in order to develop the country, I have to take this country back to the time of agriculture. Very strange idea. He was highly educated. That's why he became a leader of the country. But because of the one strange thought, it brought the disaster to the country. And so many educated people during that time, so many people were killed. More than 2 million. More than 2 million. And you see that even the Michael Jackson suicide attempt, there were a lot of rumors before that he passed away. Now, what is the best mindset? Success is not just to reach the summit, but the endless challenge in life. We think that we have to reach the summit. We have this kind of idea that we have reached the summit. But the endless challenging life, the successful and the happy life comes from the endless challenge and enjoying the life of the challenge. Therefore, you need to learn the mind education in order to keep making progress in your life. Now, as I conclude, Because the reason why I explained to you these different levels, I'm sure that you meet the different people, and maybe you run a certain project or the certain missions. As you meet the people, or as you run the different programs and the project, I'm sure that you will meet the certain war in your life, certain challenge in your life. At that time, if you do not know where you are standing exactly, even you cannot even measure how to influence others. How to influence others. Therefore, when you meet the people and when you run this the project, the most important thing is getting the new mind. We are Christians, right? We are Christians. And even though we meet so many mountains in front and ahead of us, when we are connected with the heart of Jesus, because the heart of Jesus is more than able to allow us to overcome the whatever problems and whatever challenges. So when you treat yourself with this mind that we received from Jesus, even if you treat the others with that, sometimes when we see the people, if the people they are not like cooperating with you, they are not following you, they are not they're obeying you, you may be just discouraged, saying that what is this? Always what I try to do is not successful. Just give up, just give up. I want to give you the example. Like, let's say that I want to go there from here. Sometimes it seems very far, and you don't see that anyway. You don't see that anyway. But you will be able to see that one stepstone here. And then when you make the one step, the next step, the way can be seen. Why? When you are here, you cannot see this. So when you make a step, that is when you can see the next step. And when you make the next step, that is when you can see even the other, which up to the destination that you want. But mostly, there are many problems. The reason why they give up in the middle, mostly there are two reasons. The first of all, they don't see. They just want to get the quick result. Quick result. Christians, we are not following the visual world. We are not following the visual world. We are following the invisible world. So when the practical ways to measure your effectiveness, you first of all ask yourself whether you are following the word or invisible word. To change the people, to change the heart of the people, it's not something easy. And it's not something that happens all of a sudden. I want to tell you my story. I used to hate God and church, godly things. I used to live for myself. I used to take the alcohol. I used to smoke. I used to make a lot of troubles. I used to be a troublemaker. But it is not that I did not try to quit those things. I tried. The problem is I had no power to quit. One day, I used to live with the self-confidence because whatever I did, I could make it. I was always recognized whatever I did. Even I got a good job. I used to work for the Samsung insurance company. I was well paid compared to my colleagues. And whenever I met with friends, I was the one who paid. Okay, I'll pay. Don't worry, I'll buy you. Why? Because I was paid more than my friends. But the very funny thing is, one day, the idea came to me that this world is hopeless. I don't know why. My heart was empty, and I did not know what to do. At that time, the God showed me God showed me my true figure. That you think that you are great. You think that you are, you can achieve whatever you want, whatever you think, but you are nothing. Because at the time, actually, I was about to commit suicide. One day I was standing on the skyscraper. I was about to jump, but actually I had no courage at the time. So I just came down. That is when I met the specialist. Specialist, the one, the reverend, one pastor. And I was able to, first I was able to listen to him, the word of the heart. And then I could express my heart. Actually, it took like many, many years. But eventually, God changed my heart. God changed my heart. I never thought of living for others. I'm sure that the fact that you are here in this place, it proves that you are passionate. And you want to learn something. You want to upgrade and you want to promote your the position, or you want to upgrade your skills and your mindset. Right?
Yeah.
But really, if you really want to make that happen in your life, first of all, you need to learn how to change your perspective from the visual issues. When you see the people, most of the people, they judge. They judge, and they judge the people according to their first impressive. First impressive. Now when you got here, you saw me standing wearing the suit and lecturing, and according to your first impressive, do I look a good man or a bad man? Huh? Very good man, right? Wow, this man is really good. But can you imagine that if you, same person, if you meet me, maybe at the Kim Il-sung market, wearing the short pants, wearing the slippers, and walking on with some maybe vegetables or, and how do you say, hey, who is this man? Huh? Same person, but if he wears the doctor's gown, you may think that, wow, this person is really highly educated, good man. But if same person, if he wears like a gangster, you may say that, hey, this man looks bad. We are easily influenced by what we see with our eyes. But Christians, there is a gift that we received from God. The gift we received from God. But the problem is, we don't see it. We don't see it. We don't hear. We don't even think. That's why we never know that there is the gift of God. So, the first Corinthians, allow me to read one verse. Is it okay?
Yes.
First Corinthians. First Corinthians chapter 2 verse 9. It is saying that, but as it is written, eye has not seen, nor ear heard, nor have entered into the heart of man the things which God has prepared for those who love Him. The things which God has prepared for those who love Him. Which means there are things which God has prepared for us. So what is that? That is the world of the heart. That's why even the book of Philippians chapter 2, the Bible says, let this mind be in you, which is the mind of Jesus Christ. If you learn how to receive this mindset of Jesus Christ in your heart exactly, even if you have no power, you become powerful. Why? Because the power of Jesus will be yours. When Jesus sees for example, when Jesus saw the woman caught in adultery in John chapter 8, other Pharisees and Sadducees, who saw this woman as a just adulterer, right? And they judged this woman as an adulterer. Ah, this woman, dirty and filthy. Why? Because they trusted what they saw with their eyes only. But Jesus, what did Jesus say? You are the light of the world. I don't condemn you. Where are those who are good? Where are those who are accusers? You are not. Why? Because I also took your sins. I also made you the righteous. I died for you. So you are also the light of the world. You are my daughter. If you treat the people with this idea, whoever you meet, you will always have hope. Even if this person may make a lot of troubles for now, others may say that he's a troublemaker. He doesn't have, he cannot change. Never expected that this person change. But if you treat that person with the hope that no, you are going to be the light of the world. You are going to be the great person. I told you that I lectured at Kitagata Center. The first day that I met these ladies, do you know what I said to them? You are going to be the light of Rwanda. All of them, they open up their heart. Open up their heart. Sometimes, because of busy schedule, I couldn't make it to there. And these ladies always ask my volunteers, when will Benjamin come back? When will Benjamin come back? I want to listen to him. You see, the most important issue is, I know that you have the beautiful contents. I know that you have the beautiful contents, really wonderful lectures. However, even if you have these beautiful contents and the wonderful lectures, if the listener's heart are closed, your beautiful lecture will never enter into his heart. Which means these listeners will reject your word. And you cannot change even a single person. That's why before you measure your effectiveness, first of all, you check how to open up the heart of the people. How to open up the heart of the people. In order to open up the heart of the people, the best way is to treat them with a new perspective, a new idea. It's the mindset of Jesus Christ, which does not judge the people according to their performance, according to their first image or first impressive, but see the inner part. Increase and invest your time and spend more energy to learn that invisible part. I am sure that once you grow that part, that the point, you will be able to get a lot of friends, and you will be able to win a lot of souls and a lot of the people. The Bible says the just tree of life is the righteous is the tree of life. Tree of life. One who has the wisdom wins the heart of the people. Even the Apostle Paul, he says that I am not under the law, but in order to gain the heart of the people who are under the law, I put myself in it. Even these kind of things are talking about the mindset, about the heart. So I hope that you focus a little bit more about the mindset, about the heart of the people, and you will be able to see the great change. I'm sure that you made the certain plans or certain plans in the beginning of the year, and now you may see, maybe some of you may say that, oh, this year I have achieved this and that. Or some of you say that, this year I made the plans, but I couldn't make it. Don't say like that. At least you made a plan and you tried and you achieved. You see that everything works together. And especially today, you are ending your last session with this message that focusing on the invisible world. You see that this is the great achievement that you get this year 2019. And next year, when you make plans, I hope that you put more concentration, and I'm sure that you will be able to be so many people's hearts. I'm a foreigner, right? Yeah. I'm a foreigner. I'm from South Korea. However, I have met many Rwandese individually. Do you know that Rwandese are different from other East Africa countries people? You don't know? How I sense it. Like Kenyans and Ugandans, they're very good at talking. I mean that they just speak what they want. So when I meet the people, first of all, they wait. They wait. They don't just speak out their story. Especially, I mean the Rwandese. Rwandese, you don't just speak out your story. Yeah? So, but when you get close, when you realize, when you like the sense that, oh, this person is trustworthy, that is when you pour out what is in your heart. Many my friends, they told me about their wound, their scar, their stories, some problems that they cannot speak to others, even to other Rwandese. They tell me. And how do you think I made them speak to me? I explained to them about this word of heart, and they are touched. Oh, who is this man? I think he's from Asia, but he says that he's a Christian. Hey, I don't think I never thought that Asians they believe in God. Huh? I thought that these Asians they believe in Buddha. But when I explained to them about this secret, what is happening in the heart, they open up their heart. They speak to me about their stories, their heart. This is how I gained their heart, and I got many friends and family here in Rwanda. So I hope that you also focus on this mindset, and you'll be able to learn a lot of the skills, and especially the approach to gain the heart of the people, and you have no choice but to be successful. Success depends on how many people's heart you gain. Businessman. Is there a businessman here? Please raise your hand. If you do the business, raise your hand. Yes, you do the business. Huh? Business. What is the core value and the core, the issue to get the successful business? Sales, yes. But you sell the items to who? To the customers, which means you should gain the heart of the customers. The businessman, you should gain the heart of the customers. For teachers, raise your hand if you are teachers. Yes, we have some teachers, right? Teachers must gain the heart of students. Politicians must gain the heart of the people. President must gain the heart of the people. Everything is related to the heart. This is the great secret. But people, even though it seems that they know, but they don't know how to manage. So I appreciate your invitation. In this short time, I just showed you a little bit about this my education. I have so many lectures actually. I have so many lectures and systematically well arranged. But today it's just the introduction, and I was trying to find the topic in relation to the given topic that. So I hope that you enjoyed my lecture, and if you have any questions, maybe you can freely ask, and I will maybe take some time to explain to you. Thank you very much.